As Americans, there has never been a more necessary time to unify. I'm taking my first step toward unification through gratitude with this important social project. My message here is about honoring the people that deserve it. It's about raising America's collective consciousness of the true cost of freedom. In a nutshell, it's a heartfelt pat on the back of every man and woman who ever has or ever will say, "Mom, Dad, I'm going to go into the military." I can't stress enough that if it weren't for these young men and women, well, life would likely be very different for most of us. So here it is, day one, the very beginning of the Trees in Honor project. This is a very important American art project. A project that I hope will move you, inspire you, and make you think. I hope you'll listen intently to my words and create an image in your own mind's eye. Art of any value must stir something inside its viewer. What you are listening to is the beginning of my art. For that reason, and as a part of my social art experiment, I'd like you to bear with me for a moment and close your eyes. By closing your eyes, you can eliminate some of the external distractions and envision the impact of this project. Think for a moment of a soldier you know. This soldier might be a loved one, a distant family member, a friend, or maybe a stranger you've crossed paths with. What do you feel when you think about this person as a soldier? I'm going to give you a second to let that sink in. Regardless of who this person is to you, regardless of their politics, their opinions, their attitudes towards life, whether in your mind they're a good person or not, just think of them as a soldier and what that means. What might it be like to be in their mind while contemplating some of the difficult decisions they have to make? What do you think goes through a soldier's mind when they get orders to be deployed to a dangerous part of our world? Then what goes through their mind on the sleepless night before they leave, or the following morning while hugging their children goodbye? What must that be like for the person you've pictured in your mind? What must it be like to think, I may never come home? I may never hug my husband or wife again. I may never feel the touch of my child's hand again. What if I don't see them grow up? What if I don't attend another practice or recital? I may never again feel the swell of pride for their accomplishments. Without me, what will they feel? What will they be going through? I could go on and on about the difficult decisions these young men and women have to make. But for now, that's not what this is about. And I personally can't begin to imagine how they do what they do. What I do know is that as a society, we certainly don't do enough for them. And that's how this project began. I think everyone is familiar with dog tags worn by military personnel since about 1917. They were originally implemented to identify our soldiers who were lost in battle. Think for a minute of this tiny little object. On its face, it's nothing more than a thin piece of metal with information embossed on it. But what a powerful little object it is. So much emotion surrounds it. I really can't think of another item that you could lay in the hands of another and have it evoke a more consistent response of patriotism, honor, or sacrifice. And the stories they invoke. Everyone has their story to tell. These little tags are so much bigger than the sum of their inscription or the metal they are made of. That's why I've made dog tags an important part of this project. You might be asking yourself, what exactly is a tree in honor? A tree in honor is a magnificent life-size silver tree, surrounded by benches, creating a contemplation area. The tree will be filled with dog tags as leaves, bearing the names of military personnel from that community. And beneath its shadow will lie brass dog tags, depicting the golden leaves of fall, in honor of our fallen soldiers. Each tree in honor installed in cities all across the United States will stand as the military family tree for that community. Thousands of tags will be displayed depicting the brothers and sisters of the armed forces. The reason I call them brothers and sisters and not fathers and sons, mothers and daughters, etc., is that each tag will be viewed equally, without consideration of rank or age, as they all have made sacrifices